So hello friends, welcome again to another video of mine. This is Engineer Yedi from Mosdi Academy. Apologies. This is Jupeb 2020 Objective Solutions, A-Level Physics, Jupeb and IJMB. Now very soon August, you are starting your Jupeb examination. So I am doing a kind of revision with students to help you increase your speed and also for accurate solution and also to make you do a kind of revision about the forthcoming examination. For maximum knowledge of this video, watch the video to the end, and if you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe, provided you find anything interesting on this channel. So I will be solving these 50 questions of Jupeb 2020. Hopefully I will do also 2021, because I'm also going to do for chemistry and as well as mathematics. Like I said, if you have any problem concerning physics, I have a physics channel which actually covers all what you need to know about any form of examination as it is in our country. So I start with the solution to this year 2020 examination, which I believe most of the questions are going to be repeated, hopefully with practice, and if you listen well, I know you are going to get one or two things. Let's start with the first question. Now, first question is, the pressure of a confined fluid is measured reliably by which of the following? Now, pressure in fluid. Fluid simply means liquids and gases. From junior classes, you might have studied that pressure are measured, liquid pressure are measured with a manometer. We have atmospheric pressure are measured with barometer, that is mercury barometer, or you say aneroid barometer. So to measure pressure of liquid and gas, which we call fluids, you generally use what? A manometer and a mercury barometer. So guys, it's a speed solution stuff, so I'm going to be fast. Admin, please. Next question. Pascal principle is important, and some calculation about pressure law is also very, very important. Now, next question. Now, thank you very much. Now, the next question says, the equation A is equals to 2 plus 2t represents the acceleration of a particle in a time t. Find the instantaneous velocity after 4 seconds. This is aspect of your kinematics, which you have also done very well. Now, your acceleration is writing as acceleration vector equals to the v vector by dt. Now, in this question, we are looking for velocity, instantaneous velocity at an instant of time. Cross multiply and make the v vector, so the formula, the v vector equals to a dt. A dt. Now, if you need to get velocity from the v, you are going to integrate both sides. Now, doing that directly, integrating both sides, that means you are integrating the function from a general time of 0 to 4 seconds. So doing that, I'm going to integrate the function. The function is, we have, it should be equals to, integrating this function will be 2t plus, I hope you can integrate, this is t squared by 2, that's t squared. I hope students know how to integrate. You add 1 to the power, divide by the sum of the power. So doing that directly, at a time, generality of time t equals to 4, substituting t equals to 4, 2 4s are 8, plus t squared is 4 squares are 16. I hope this is not cutting at me. Then 8 plus 16 is 24 meters per second. Will be the answer to this question. And we'll move to the next one. Question 3. Thank you very much. Now, which of the following statement is correct about elastic collision? This is also a basic question, which I believe you might have studied also in your general junior classes. Talking about elastic collision, these are collisions in which what kinetic energy is concerned. So, when you talk about this, Jupeb also will ask you a question based on some other advanced something, talking about different type of collision, elastic, inelastic, and perfectly what? Inelastic collision. So you need to understand it in terms of coefficient of restitution. If you don't have idea, watch my physics channel. So here, the correct answer will be only to the kinetic energy is concerned. We move to the next question. Next question, please. Thank you very much, Agnes. The next question says, a string with a force of 80 Newton has an extension of 0.05 meter. If it is used to shoot a stone of mass of 20 g, as you can see, the examiner now asks us that what is the velocity of the stone. The velocity of the stone, that means we have two types of string force. It's a kind of energy conservation theorem, which you have also studied, work energy and power. You can say the extension energy in what? In wire. Everybody knows it's half Fe. Is equals to, because it is used to what? To shoot the stone. The string was stretched, then released to shoot the stone. So here you can see the velocity of that one, kinetic energy, it has gained kinetic energy. Everybody knows half mv squared. So directly I can say this gets cancelled out. Then if that gets cancelled out, I can now say from here, I can say Fe equals to half what? This is Fe is equals to, Fe is not ion here, mv squared. I am looking for velocity in this question. I can say V equals to square root of, I'm just doing the direct formula, Fe by m. So directly I can substitute. If I substitute, I'm going to have a kind of situation where I have Fe here. What is my force? I think it is given 80 multiplied by, what is my E extension? Should be in meter, 0.05. 80 times 0.05 is 4. Then divided by mass is 20 g, then it should be 0.02 kilogram. I hope I am not cutting there. So I'm converting divided by 0.02. So everything is in square root, remember? So solving this one directly, I hope I'm not cutting. So now we have, this is like saying 4 divided by 0.02 will be square root of 200. Now from calculator, square root of 200 should be 14.14 meters per second, should be correct for square root of 200 should be 14.14. And I think I should have that. Choice D is correct. Admin please to the next question. Thank you very much. Now, next question is asking the reluctance of an object to start moving and when it's at rest or stationary, and the reluctance to stop. This is basic question of WAEC and NECO. Now, reluctance of an object to move is defined according to Isaac Newton's first law of motion, and it is called inertial mass. So this is the definition we give to inertia from junior classes. So the reluctance of an object to move and the reluctance to stop, to start moving and to stop when it is in motion. So it is called inertial mass, and that is the law of what? First law of motion is called law of inertia. Next question, please. Thank you, Admin. Now the next question here, thank you, Admin, calculator there. Now the next question is, two blocks of masses, M1 is 300G, M2 is 500G, is in contact with each other. They are in contact now with each other on a rest table. Now you can do a practical illustration to understand the concept very well. And because of time, I'm not doing all these things again, but for this I can just do this for you guys. Now we have a ground. We have two blocks that are in contact with each other. Diagram not going to scale. Now those are the two blocks. One has mass, you know, it's having in a rough ground, whatever, because there is a coefficient of friction mu. It's said to be 0.4. I think this is also a cheap question. What must be the value of the applied force of the block if the blocks are having an acceleration of 200 centimeters squared? First thing I do is I convert this to meter per second squared. Then I convert this one to kilogram. You know that this will be 2 meters per second squared. I hope students understand that. I converted 200 to what? Centimeter per second to meter per second. So I have two blocks, M1 and M2. I don't know what happened to my calibration there. Now, M1 and M2, we understand from second law of motion that if force is going at that side, frictional force will oppose motion. Fr is frictional force. So doing that, using F equals to Ma, I can say directly that F minus frictional force equals to Ma. That is F equals to Ma. But the forces that we act between the two blocks are going to be the force of the body minus its frictional force on that. Now, we also discussed this many times, that frictional force in junior class equals to mu n. Where n is normal reaction. Some of you know it as mu r. You can say frictional force equals to mu n is mg. This is, I think this is common in junior classes, if you remember. So substituting this value, we know that this is F, the force, minus, we are looking for this force, F equals to directly Ma plus, what is Fr now? Mu mg. So directly calculator, I'll do that now. So for you guys to get that. So doing that, remember the masses are what? They are in contact. So I'm going to add the masses, mass addition, case of mass addition. 300 plus 500 is 800. 800 divided by 1000 kilogram. That is 0.8. So directly, my dear student, we have 0.8 times acceleration was given 2 plus mu was given 0.4, then times, we have 0.4, I hope I'm not cutting, times 0.8 times G has to be taken as 9.8. So directly, guys, I can just punch all this right. This is 1.6 plus, this is, let's just do it here. You can see this. Now, if we are going with it, this is 0.4.4 that is 0.4. These are elementary calculator that means giving here, times 0.8 times 9.8. So directly I have 3.316.136. So adding that plus 1.6, the plus, what is plus here? Admit. This is your plus, right? Plus 1.6. 1.6 should give me the answer I need. 4.736. 4.736. 4.74. Admit, right? 4.736 Newton will be the first that will be responsible for this guy. And that is the next question, admit, please. Thank you, my admin. The next one is a very simple question. The magnitude of mass of an object that is placed on the earth. Mass of an object is constant. Right? Remember that? Junior classes? Mass of an object is constant. Weight changes from one place to another. Next question, admin. Thank you very much. Now, vector A and B are said to be parallel. If dash. Now, I want to talk about vector. Videos on vector are available on my physics channel. This is not the channel I'm talking about, not the modified channel. Just search for Mosley Academy. You are going to see the physics channel right before you ask. You can use the playlist to get all the concepts. But for now, I think you need to do more practice questions because they are type or method in which Jupeb and IGNB used to search questions. Vector A and B are said to be parallel. If vectors are parallel, junior classes, you know, angle between the vector is equals to 0. Everybody knows that. When vectors are perpendicular, angle between the vectors is 90 degrees. Now, going by that, directly we can say, now we have two types of product. We have dot product, scalar product, A vector equals to, we have AB vector A multiplied by vector B. Then we see the angle between them is cos theta. As of then we have cross product, A cross product. You guys remember this? Then we have B is now equals to vector A multiplied by vector B, then the angle is what? Sine theta. So now, if angle is equals to 0, now you now substitute. You guys are good mathematicians. This is a simple question now. Now if angle is 0, everybody knows cos 0 is what? Cos 0 is 1. Cos 0 is 1. That means if angle equals to 0, that means A dot B will be equals to AB, vector of A and vector of B. Sorry about that. That's just that because that one is 1. But if this guy is equals to 0, sine 0 is equals to what? 0. 0 times AB is what? Is 0. So that means A cross B is now equals to what? 0. So any of these two conditions satisfy what? Your vector. Scalar product and what? Vector product. So what I'm saying in essence, dear student, is that you have to look for the answer that goes with this. Where is the cross product? This is trace D, as you can see. The cross product is A star. That is the way we represent. So guys, that's how to solve that. Next question, my dear admin. Thank you. Admin is a very simple question. I don't know the number. Now, this is a truck of mass 150 kilogram is released from rest. Now, conservation of work energy theorem. Everybody should know this. At A, this is point A. This is the point at which it was released. And moves along the frictionless track. There is no friction. As shown in this, it is going like that. I don't even know the diagram, the shape of the diagram. But calculates the maximum kinetic energy. Maximum kinetic energy will be at the top. Everybody knows. Kinetic energy has been conserved. Conserved to what? Potential energy. So KE we can say is equals to mgh, right? Now another thing you need to understand is that kinetic energy has now turned to potential energy. Potential energy is what? In a conservative field, in a field, potential energy does not depend on what? Does not depend on parts. Another does not, I have concept on this, depend on parts. I'm not even teaching here on parts. It only depends on the initial and what? And final position. That is what it depends on. So because it only depends on initial and final position, we can actually say this is a simple question. We just calculate what the maximum value, which was 60, and we neglect the one at the middle. I hope you understand that. You are not subtracting anything because these are what? This is just telling you at the maximum, point of maximum. That's another way to visualize that. So mass is 150 kg. I am substituting that, multiplied by, so this guy is our, what's G is 10, multiplied by the height is 60. So multiplying this thing, I know 150 times this is about, that's 9,000. 150 times this is 90. So this should be 90 kilojoule. We are working with respect to the answer. You can check that. That's 90 kilojoule. And I think, I hope you understand, that's 90,000. You can multiply that. 150 times 10, that is 1,500 times 60. 90,000 is 90 kilojoule. Next question. Thank you, guys. About the next question, we have all fundamental quantities are scalars. I think we are all derived quantities are scalar. All fundamental quantities are vectors. Not all derived quantities are vector quantities. Which of the following statements are correct? About the correction about this, the correct statement from this should be all fundamental quantities are scalar is the correct statement. All derived units are scalar is wrong. All fundamental quantities are vector is also wrong. Then not all derived quantities are vector is also correct. So that's the only correct statement. This is elementary physics if I'm not mistaken. So we look for Roman figure 1 and Roman figure 4 only. Choice D is going to be the correct answer. Next question. Thank you very much. Now, a body is dropped from rest. Body is dropped from rest and allowed to fall freely from a given height under gravity. Kinetic energy has been conserved again. So everybody knows that. That means KE is equals to P, which is what? mgh. So that's that. So the question is the kinetic energy on halfway. It's very simple. When the height, because kinetic energy is now proportional to the height. So if the height is half, kinetic energy will be half. If the height is double, kinetic energy will be double. So there's nothing to solve here. So they said it will be little above initial, no, little below, no, half of its initial what? And half of the energy because it is halfway. Next question, please. Now, the next question says, apologies, the safety speed of a vehicle on a curved road is dash. Now, this is also available on my channel talking about banking of road and tracks. This is a simple question. When something is moving a circular path, curved road has a circular path, we definitely know if we have, I don't want to waste time because I have a long way to go. All these are what I can show you within an atom of time without wasting your time at all. But because I'm rushing and I'm not here to teach concepts, I want to learn more about my concept. I think you can watch. My videos are available. If you have a body as a circle and body is moving along the circular track, if the car is moving along the circular track, you can say, apologies, I'm coming. Now, if the body is moving along the circular track, you know velocity is always tangential. You might have studied that. Now, because of that, let's say a car. I don't know how to draw a car now. Let's take this as a car. So if a car is moving, because of them, actually can draw a car. A car is moving along the circular track. There are two things that is affecting it. Now, at the center here, we have talked there many times. This is the radius of the circle. At the center there, you have talked many times about what? Centripetal force. Force that is responsible for it. So centripetal force will balance out the frictional force. You guys know frictional force. So friction is opposite. Centripetal force is the force that is acting inward. So the two forces balance out each other. What is centripetal force? mv squared by r. I hope you remember. Balance, what is frictional force? Mu n. What is n? Mu mg. We just did this not so long. So directly you can now say m gets cancelled out. I hope you understand. So v squared on cross multiplication equals to r become and that's mu rg. So here you can say v, which is the speed that keep it along circular, the square root of mu rg will be the what? This is what we call velocity of what the speed of the vehicle along a circular track. So always keep that in mind. So you have to look for that, and I think this is the right answer. That's correct. Let's move to the next question. Thank you, Alan. Now about this next question, an aircraft of mass. I'll be giving some questions for you to complete because of time. An aircraft of mass, we have, apologies, my dear students. Okay, so we have, please admit, just permit me to do what I want to do. This is, oh, wow. Sorry, guys, I'm with you. Just a minute. This. Okay. So we have this. I'm having some technical issue here. I'm going to resolve that now. So guys, let's move on. I think that one should not be a problem of time. So I don't know what is happening to this. I think I have some stuff I have to do. So please just permit me to do whatever I want to do. So now we have a technical issue I'm going to resolve now. I think this is sticky. That is why it has fit. Fine. So now I'm with you guys. Please admit, just ignore everything. Let me just control this stuff. This should be. I need help. I will definitely. So solving this, I will leave you guys for this because I've actually wasted time on this. I think it's a simple question. We have an anti-graft having a mass of that and lands on an anti-carrier deck with an horizontal velocity of this. If it is brought to rest, it's coming, then it should be negative. That is why the answer is negative. It is brought to rest by a certain something. We are calculating the retarding force. So the force is negative, no doubt. We all know F equals to MA. Every one of us know that. So far we know that F is equals to MA. If we all know that F is MA, I don't think we need to have issues with that. This question in particular is giving me issue. So maybe the question wants you guys to solve it for yourself. I'm not sure. So if F is equals to MA, very bad means here to F today. So if F equals to MA, I don't think this one should be a big deal. So if F is equals to MA, you can just solve directly and get your. So the only thing is that you may not know A in the question. What about M? M is not given. M is given. Okay, fine. Thank you. Now we have A can be calculated from different speed formula. V square equals to U square minus 2AS. V square equals to U square plus 2A. That's why I said this is calculator stuff. I'm looking for force. So, the final velocity is 0 because it is brought to rest. It is dropping from above and it's brought to rest. Now, I hope I'm not cutting at me. Thank you. Now, if this is 0, then it should be negative here. So all I need is 0, then the velocity speed is 90. So 90 square, whatever. See, 0 square equals to 90 square. That is 8100. Plus, I'm looking for A. 2A times S is, what is the distance it's covered? It was given 100. 100 times 2 is 200. This will be negative. The question is even about, here you have negative 8100 equals to 200A. These 2O cancel these 2O. So I'm saying A equals to negative 81 by 2 meters per second. So you can press calculator. It's just that I don't have time. So F is, I'll be leaving some questions for you guys to solve. I think this one is part of those questions I should have left because everybody should be able to solve F equals to M. Admin, do you support me with that? Yes. Okay, thank you. So mass here is 2 times 10 raised to power 4 multiplied by the answer you have there, negative 81 over 2. You can see why I love putting something in fraction because most of the time it helped me. So I don't need to disturb myself. I know this will be the answer. But that's the only thing that is having 8.1. You understand the logic, so sometimes it helps you to save your time. Next question, please. Thank you very much, Adrian. Now, the question here is, which of the following is a suitable expression for Poiseuille equation for the flow of liquid through a tube? Suitable expression. Now, this is a very kind of technical question that you might, like, if you are not so good in derivation of formula, you might say answer is not there because you have been told that what? The volume of flow in a tube according to Poiseuille equation, volume of flow is given as pi r4 over, you have 8 eta L, then change in pressure. If you have studied this in your Jupeb classes, you have talked about Poiseuille equation. This is the formula. But if you look at the way in which the options are being given, they only ask you for the expression that goes with it, not the final Poiseuille equation. Pressure, pi, r is radius of the tube, 8 is the number we use from derivation, eta is coefficient of viscosity, and L is the length of the tube. Now remember that. Now in derivation of the formula, a quick one, I'm not going into concept, you can watch all these things under hydrodynamics and hydrostatics are available on my physics channel. So take your time to watch that. Now, how do we come about the expression in the derivation? We use a cylindrical tube. Wow, I don't want to teach, and I don't know why this question is coming out for me to teach. Oh, wow. Cylinder, are you here? I think cylinder is here. And me, I'm giving me cylinder, don't worry. This one is not cylinder. Or is this one cylinder? Now look as if it's not. Let me make it like this for you guys to see. Okay. So, wow. So that's just a cylinder, just for illustration. So we just consider a flow of a fluid that is flowing through a cylinder. Sorry, sometimes that is why I like sitting down to do videos. It will make me very fast. And when I'm using board, I will be explaining almost everything at the center here. We talk about factors that affect what? Viscous does not affect here. As you go up, you see there is a reduce in the flow. All these have been studied if you attend your full Jupeb classes tutorial, but if not, you can still learn. So what I'm trying to say is that force of viscous force is given by formula. We have eta, hope I'm not cutting. Now we have, the formula is given as eta is coefficient of A dV by ds. We have dV by ds is called velocity gradient. That's the first one. Here's a cylinder. You and I know this is a cylinder. So we apply pressure from previous classes. Pressure is equals to force over area. I hope you remember that. So we apply pressure at this one because it is. So we take the length of this to be L, and we are taking the general radius. The length of the tube is L. We are taking the radius of this guy, the radius of the cylinder. We are taking to be equals to x, so that you understand from the center to the point. You understand the radius of God. So we apply force, which is opposite to the other force. So that is why negative will come in. We say force F is equals to pressure times area. So we are talking about cross surface area of what? A cylinder. Cross surface area of a cylinder, my mensuration or mathematics should be 2 pi r h. Imagine in this case question we are not using r, we are using our r as what? S, and our h as length. L. So if I want to solve that, I say F is now equals to pressure is, I hope I'm not cutting, this is 2 pi XL. I love deriving formulas, but not cramming formulas. Now, this is how we come. Now, the forces balance out each other, though they are in opposite direction. So you can now balance out this guy. You say eta, A, the V by dx, balance is negative over this guy, 2 pi XL. What happens? You cancel what you can cancel out, and you get out with the next thing. So what can you cancel out here? You now try to make the V by dx of a formula. So you can try that. So now, another thing you can do is that this guy, area, the area of this one also, you can substitute so that you can cancel. So when you cancel out here, you now make the V by dx of a formula. You are going to have a lot of constants, which you bring out that the only parameter that will be left, because area of this also is 2 pi x, we cancel out. You are only going to have integration of x. So when you integrate x, we are going to be having something like expression like p over, I don't want to waste your time. Then we have 2 times 2, because if I integrate s is x squared over 2. 2 times 2 is 4. I'm going to have 4 pi, because there is a pi. Then the length, 4 pi L. I'm trying to finish that into bracket because I'm taking limit of integration from a squared minus x squared. So this is the expression before we put the limit. This is the final expression when we put the limit. So Poiseuille equation before limit, this is the expression. After limit, that is the expression. My admin is even sleeping here, don't mind it. That's the way it does sometimes. So the answer to this question is nothing but B. So the next question, please, let's move on. Next question. Next, please. Thank you very much. Now, the next question, I have something like a calculator here. That means I'm going to need it. Admin is really doing a wonderful job. I always kudos me. Don't mind me sometimes. I just, I take some of this thing out of it. It's just fun. A metal or whatever. A small metal sphere. I hope I am not cutting. So a small metal sphere. Let's bring this so that you can see. We are still here at Mosaic Academy trying to provide solution to questions. Now, a small metal sphere with diameter 12 mm is dropped into glycerin. The viscous force of an object is 3.2. calculates the coefficient of viscosity, that is theta, of the fluid. If the terminal velocity is 8, parameters are given, you have to convert this guy because it's in millimeter. The force is not, because when the what? It's also available on my channel, even when I did theory of Jupeb last year on my channel, so you can check through. You will see when it floats, the sphere is dropped inside water flow. In viscous force react of it, then we come about what we call what? Stokes law, which was actually derived from experiment and not from mathematics. So Stokes law is given as viscous force F equals to 6 pi eta RV. This V is velocity. So directly, I don't know what I'm looking for. Eta, right? Eta. So if I make eta subject of the formula, eta here will be equals to viscous force divided by 6 pi multiplied by R and the velocity, the terminal velocity. So directly, let's put parameter. Object has a force of 3.2. Wow. We are dividing 3.2 by 6 pi. 6 times 3.14 multiplied by radius is diameter is 6, radius will be, diameter is 12, radius will be 6 mm. I hope you understand that. And I have to convert millimeter, 10 millimeter make 1 centimeter. So you understand. So 10 millimeter is 1 centimeter, liters centimeter is 10 millimeter is 1 centimeter. Divide by 10. When you divide by that, you are dividing by 1,000. 6 divided by 1,000 is 0.006. So you just have to do that because I'm converting to meter. 0.006 multiplied by V. What is the V? 8. So 0.006, 0.006 times 8. So this is what I'm going to press on calculator. And if I do that, I'm going to have my answer of eta. So maybe I'll leave it for you guys to punch and get the answer in the calculator. But before that, let's do it. Let's do what is under here. 6 times 3.142 times 0.006, this is our model 1 calculator, times 8. And see my answer, 0.904896. So 0.904896. So I'm dividing that by 3.2. So hopefully we don't make any mistake, I'm sure. 3.2 divided by, where's my division sign? This one? Is this division? Yes. Divided by, well, I don't know this type of calculator. 0.9048. I just want to be doing everything, but very soon I will leave some. It's about 3.5 something. 3.53. I mean, you can see better on the laptop. 3.5 something until there. So you can confirm 3.54. Admin, right? Yes, so 3.54 Newton seconds per meter square will be the answer to your question for the coefficient of viscosity. Next question. Thank you. Buttered paper is an example of translucent. No time to waste time. Next, please. Thank you very much. Please, I will save some time for determine the rate of radiant emission per meter square of a black body at 25 degrees Celsius. This is Stefan equation. Heat or power rate of emission of what we call our heat emission is given as say we have it's given as EA permittivity T to power 4. It's available on my channel if you want to learn more, but this is the way we give what illustration to that. So this is the power of the rate at which heat is being distributed. Are you getting it? Either gain, loss, or transmitted, anything which we are using. So but here we are looking at radiant, the emission per meter square. That is emission power, heat emission per area. That means we are looking for P over A. So P over A, that is why they say emission per meter. This is emission, area is meter square. So it will now be equals to E, you know, that means that one is, this is Joseph Stefan constant, that is Stefan constant, T to power 4. Now, and you also need to keep one thing in mind. What you need to keep in mind, my dear students, is that the emissivity of a black body is equals to 1. A black body is called a perfect body, a perfect black body. They have emissivity and absorptivity of 1. So E is equals to 1. So directly, maybe I'm going to need some stuff here, which I'm going to need now. I think I'm going to need something, a constant parameter, because I cannot record the constant parameter, but my brain is here to help me anyway, to help me in what? Getting the constant parameter for Joseph Stefan constant. Then we also need to record that temperature must be in Kelvin and not in degrees Celsius. So we add 273 to this. So if we add 270, all these are given in front of the Jupeb paper, to be honest. That's just the truth. Now, admin, please pass the Jupeb paper. Let me just show for you guys to see. It is always given for clarity, so that you can see. This is it for you guys to see. For clarity's sake, this is what I'm talking about. You can see all constants you are going to use are always available. I hope it is visible. And it's not visible like that. I don't want the something. What about this? They can see the paper. How about like this? Like this. So I'm not even talking about, you can say I'm holding a paper. So it is always given in front like this. See, these are the constants. So here I need Stefan constant. This is 5.67 times 10 to the power negative 8. So emissivity of a black body is 1 times 5.67. So I just want you guys to see that sometimes you need to what? You need some values. Times T raised to power 4, temperature raised to power 4. Admin, please take back. T raised to power 4 is that's 273 plus 25. That's 298. You are looking at 298 raised to power 4. No, I'm laughing here. The reason why I'm laughing is because I'm looking at wow, I'm going to press this one on my calculator. So I'll be pressing 298 times 298 times 298 4 times. Let me do that. 298, and I don't have all those other calculators. Times, it's allowed in your Jupeb exam, 298 times 298. I think that's the third one. Times 298. So buy a good calculator. Don't use my own type of calculator. Then multiply by 1 times anything is that thing. Multiply by 5.67 times 5.67. So I know any answer I get is 10 times 10 to the power 8. So I don't have, this is like saying 44 whatever, that's like 4.47. 447 whatever. So 447 times 10 to the power minus 8 will now be equal to what? 447. You can see, they did not even help you to put SI units there. That's so funny. So the answer to this is what? Nothing but option B. So this is how we solve that. Next question, my dear. Thank you very much. Now, next question, no time now. In longitudinal waves, if you're talking about longitudinal wave, I hope you have studied about that also in your junior classes. In longitudinal wave, the direction of vibration of wave is dash, longitudinal. Direction of vibration of wave is the same. Or we use the word para. These are what you have in your definition. This is parallel to the what? The medium. So the same or parallel, choice B is correct. Next one. Very good example is your sound wave. You know that very well. Next one says a body generates 60 cycles per second of a progressive wave traveling at 20 meters per second. What is the wavelength? I think this student also tried to solve that. So it's a very simple question. V equals to F lambda. Cycles per second is talking about frequency. So wavelength equals to, let's just use what was given here, V divided by frequency. Speed is 20. We are dividing that by frequency, which is 60. So that should be 0.33. Next question, meter. Next one, guys. Thank you, Admin. Now, the next one says that the following statement or expressions are false, except, that means all others can be true, but one here is what? False. Now, the first one says a closed system allows only the exchange of matter within its surrounding. Yes, this is correct because the closed system is not affected by what? By temperature and pressure. It's only affected by what is going on in its surrounding. That is very correct. Then, the next one, not next question. I'm talking about explanation to question. Now, the next one is we are looking for the one that is not correct. I say that first statement is correct. So that's not the answer. So the next one says the Q equals to the U minus thermodynamically. This is wrong. And that should be our answer. We know from the what? Equation of what? First law of thermodynamics that differential equation of first law is the Q. The quantity of heat supplied to a body is what will cause a change in internal energy of the body, and what the work is done what by the body. So the Q equals to the U plus the W is the first law which you have studied. So this is wrong. We can also quickly look at two other options. For a given mass of gas, Cp is greater than Cv. Yes, correct. Cp is what? Molar specific heat at constant pressure, and this is molar specific heat at constant volume. At constant pressure, you know very well, isobaric, at constant value is called isochoric. Remember that? Thank you very much. Now, we have a relation that you can keep in mind for whether Cp minus Cv equals to 1. This is called Mayer's relation. They are available on my derivation and all these things. But you don't need derivation, you just need application. The next thing is adiabatic refers to a change. Now, adiabatic change refers to change of pressure and temperature only. Now, we just need to be careful. I like this question. I like it. That is why it is good sometimes for you to read. Now, adiabatic change refers to change in pressure and temperature. Adiabatic process is a process whereby quantity of heat is equals to 0. Are you getting it? If quantity of heat is equals to 0, that means the Q is equals to 0. Are you getting it? That means this is 0. So the only thing we have is what? The U equals to the W. And you know the U from formula is given as F by 2 nRT. And what kinetic theory about? F means degree of freedom of what? Molecule. Then the W equals to what? PV or PdV, anyhow you want to write it. So what am I trying to say now? If Q is equals to 0, the only parameter we have in thermodynamic constants are the pressure and the volume. So that is why this is also very correct. And also we also have the temperature. So we can see pressure, volume. Okay, adiabatic change refers to a change of pressure and temperature only. Now, pressure, it depends on the, you say this is the U equals to negative the W. So this negative should be here. So minus P. So it depends on the pressure, it depends on the temperature, and we say temperature is equals to 0. Thank you. Temperature is equal because Q is a measure of what? The amount of heat. So if temperature is equals to 0, this also equals, it only depends on pressure and volume. This is also wrong. So now, this is why I said I like this question. We have two options that are wrong. Now, why I'm going to pick B and D and not B is what I want to explain. That's why I'm taking my time on this. Is because it is possible for this equation to change. Even in chemistry, you guys we use minus in chemistry. Why do we use minus? Because there are two types of work done. Work can be done on a body and work can be done by a body. So when work is done by the body, it is negative. So it will change this expression to negative. So this guy can be both positive or negative. So I will take this one to be a correct statement and this as my answer. So answer to this question is choice D. Admit this. On to the next one. I have wasted time on that. And because I've wasted time on that, you guys are going to do this. Calculate the critical angle for ray of light that is incident of water glass interface. Just the formula is critical angle is given as, apologies, critical angle should be this. So critical angle is sine C and is equals to 1 over air glass, water to glass. So you know that very well. So what you just do is just punch your calculator. Sine C equals to 1 over refractive index from water to glass is glass to what? From glass as 1.5 over 1.33. So you do that, then you press shift in. In fact, I don't even have a calculator that can press shift inverse. So do this one, then you get your answer. I think maybe approximately this, I'm not sure. Next question, please. Let's move on. Thank you very much, my team. Now the next one says the song of a bell with an intensity of 1.4 times 10 to the minus 8 watts per meter square and frequency of 6.0 kilohertz. I will convert because of time. This 6 times 10 to the 3 hertz. That's the frequency. Is held by a hunter in the woods. Calculate the displacement amplitude of the wave. Now, I just need to give you a formula. We are given the density and the speed. Now, the formula for the intensity of sound, I think that is just what you need to know. For those of you who don't know about that, intensity is said to what? To vary directly as square of amplitude. When you talk about factors that affect or characteristics of sound. Remember that pitch, light, quality, intensity, and loudness. Elementary physics is coming out. So that you know. But now, formula-wise, intensity of sound is proportional to 2 pi squared multiplied by the frequency squared multiplied by the amplitude squared. Those are factors that affect it. And multiplied by the density and the speed. So that is the formula. So now also another word for you to press. So just you are looking for amplitude. Amplitude is A. We now equals to square root of intensity divided by the remaining guys are 2 pi squared multiplied by the frequency square, then the what? The density, then the speed. Now let me tell you the parameters you just need to punch. If you punch very well, I is what is I? I is this guy. What is your F? This is F. What is your what is your rho? Rho is this guy. This one. What is your V? V is this guy. This is, you can see it's 343. You are supposed to. So just substitute that. If you do this very well, directly approximately you should be having something like this. That is 2.2 times 10 to the power minus 10. So that's that, guys. Next question, please. Thank you very much. If two objects are each in thermal equilibrium with the third object, then the two objects are in thermal equilibrium with each other. This is what we call what? Zeroth law of thermodynamics. Many times I have this also available. This is a simple definition you need to know, and that's the answer to that. Next question, please, Admin. I hope we are halfway. Are you sure? Okay. Now, which of the following radiation has the longest wavelength? This is just memory-based question. This is a simple question. I do tell you, memory-based questions are very simple. Radio wave, you remember, Gazuli, gamma ray, X-ray, visible light, ultraviolet, infrared, and radio wave. So, next one, guys. Now, this is somehow funny. A string whose linear density is 400 grams per meter has a tension of 55, receive a sinusoidal wave of frequency 8 hertz. Calculate the angular speed. Now, linear speed here, because it's sinusoidal, is equals to tension over mu. Mu is the linear density, which was given. It is mass per unit length. This guy. So that is that. I hope you know this one under your derivation of the equation of wave. Now, if you don't know that, there's a first time to everything. But here you are looking for angular speed. Angular speed omega is equals to 2 pi f. Everybody knows this. So let's just point our calculator. So we don't need this one because angular speed is what we need. So 2 times 3.142. The frequency here is 8. On simplification, this is 16 times 3 will give us 50.3 radian per second, I guess. So now I'm now doing speed solution because of time. Next one, Admin. Thank you. Thank you very much. In a double slit experiment, the distance between the fringes, this is YDSE. This is also another important experiment you have done if you actually go through the course of the class. Now, but if not, it's still not a problem. YDSE is also available. What would increase the distance between the fringes? Now, we just use the relationship of fringe experiment, which you have the formula. From that, we know that if we increase the distance between the slit and the screen, definitely what? There will be an increase what? What will increase the distance between the fringes? So when you, distance between the slit and the screen is direct proportional to distance between the fringes. So a direct relationship is what we want to use there. So nothing to solve here, but just to pick answer like I do, then you move to the next question. Thank you. Next one says, a gas of volume 400 centimeter cube at this temperature of 27 is heated at constant pressure, adiabatic. I say adiabatic. This is isobaric. Thank you, Admin. Admin is a Shannonite in physics. When I say Shannonite, I hope you know the meaning of that. So now, at that temperature of 45 degrees Celsius. Now here, you have two temperature. When we say speed of sound is not affected by pressure at constant temperature. I hope you know that. Now, and according to Laplace, we are told that speed of sound is proportional to square root of 10. I think this is also elementary. So by solving, we can say if the speed are now 2 million, V1 by V2 equals to root T1 by T2. So I hope you have studied this, and if not, there's the first time to everything in life. So take this. What I did is if V is now equals to K root T, K root T. You know, K will now be equals to your V over root T for those who don't know. So it should be V1 over root T1 equals to V2 over, you can see it's continuing like that, V over root T. So I just tried to make this one, this guy is 2, 2, those guys 1, 1, because of this one. Then you have 2, 2, 1, 1. So if you now rearrange it, you can say V1, V, T1, whatever, V1, T2, whatever. So either you use this one, or you use this one, you are going to have the same answer. So don't be afraid. I am with you. And you are safe. So the first speed given here is what? 400. I said before, is it speed or volume? Look at me, it's even volume. I'm doing speed and wow. This just has a lot. Oh my God. So that shows you actually I don't practice any question before coming. All I just do is just when my main are true, they just call me to come and solve question, and if I solve question, I'm here to just what? Help them to solve the question. I don't have time to have a lot of things I'm doing. So I'm saying I want to do. Don't worry, I'm coming to show now. It's just funny. To solve a simple question, I'm just disturbing myself. When pressure is constant, you know what you use gas, right? So it's a simple question. Maybe I think he was trying to tell me I didn't listen to him anyway. My mind was not there. I think he was trying to tell me that he's charge because I have volume and temperature. Pressure is constant. Charge square is V1 over T1 is equals to V2 over T2. So maybe we can all do this. But remember to convert the temperature. You can say, then, is the temperature increase, then the volume also should increase. Look at me, I will not even do this exam. If I'm doing, I will only pick option A. Because I know application. Do you get? But let's solve. Sometimes we might be wrong. Who knows? 400 over the first temperature is 300. I hope you understand where 300 is coming from. I added 273. And V2. This is 273 plus 45. No time. 273. And I hope you are checking time plus 45. It's 318. These two gets cancelled out. So don't waste your time. You can always do time 3 divided 318. 318 divided by 3. No time. It can divide, I'm not sure. 106. So 106 times 4. That's the answer. 424, you can see. I'm very clear. So I just want to do it for the sake of understanding. Normally, temperature is increasing from 27 to 45. Volume also will increase from Chancellor. Out of all these options, no one is increasing. Only this is increasing. Sometimes you don't need to solve. I mean, the exam I don't solve. But because I'm here to explain things to you guys, that's what I'm solving. Let's move to the next one. And we need to be putting numbers. So that my mind will be at rest that I'm at. Let me then check the number I have from the question, from the real question. Please. Just check for me. So I know, because I'm going to question 50. I want to know the rates at which I will increase my place. 28 of 50. So I still have a long way to go. You can see, guys, it's not that easy and no time on my side. So now, it should be a good conductor. It should be opaque. Its expansion should be regular. It should wet glass. It should have a high melting point and low boiling point, which of the following property is not suitable for thermometric liquid. The one that is not suitable. Now, suitable ones is just what I'm going to pick first. So if I'm able to pick the suitable ones, I will be able to pick the one that is not suitable. Now, it must expand uniformly is a suitable stuff. Now, we are talking about conductor of heat and electricity. It should not wet, we should wet glass, no, should not wet glass, because if it is sticky to the glass, we won't be able to measure the reading of the temperature of the scale. So it should not wet, should wet glass is wrong. So I'm wronging out this one. Now, that means I have 4. So which of them has 4? They have even buttered my bread. The only one that have 4 here is this one. This is the only one that have 4. So it's not correct. So this is 4. Then finally, it should have high melting point. Now, it should have low freezing point and what? And what? And high boiling point. So now you have, it should have, no, this is also wrong. So let's take others. It should be opaque, yes. Opaque, yes. But if it is opaque, that's another thing we need to know. If something is opaque, that means you can't see through it. So if you cannot see through the liquid, how are you going to be able to measure the temperature? So that's another thing. So 2 also is wrong. It's not suitable. It should be okay. Opaque is not suitable. 2 is out. So it's not, which of the people above is not, are not those of suitable thermometric liquid. Thermometric liquid are liquid that expand with what increase in what? Temperature. So we are looking at temperature. 1 is very, very correct. That one I'm sure about. This is very, very correct. I'm very sure about that, 100%. So now, sometimes multiple choice also can be deadly. 1 is correct, 3 is correct. So if you are picking 2, 3 is correct. So it is only 4 and 5. It's not that. But this opaque of the thing is questionable because if you say something is opaque, you can't see through it. And how will you be able to measure that? So the correct answer from the displacement of the option is this. And we can move to the next one. Please, let's be fast. Now, this says how many grams of water at 20 degrees Celsius must be added to 35 grams of ice at 0 degrees to melt it completely. How many grams of water must be added? Heat loss equals to heat gain. So heat loss by water is equals to heat gain by what? By ice. So heat loss by water is mc theta. Heat gain by ice is mc theta plus MLF. Latent heat of fusion. I think it's a direct stuff. Maybe you guys should just do that. So mc theta, m is what we are looking for. I will leave it. C can get cancelled out, but let me just read. C is 4.2 times 10 raised to power 3. Now, how many grams of water was added? 20 grams of. Now, change in temperature of this one is 20. Must be equals to M for this guy is 35 times 4.2. And it has changed from 100 minus 0 is 100 plus mass is 35 times latent heat of fusion will be given 3.4 times 10 raised to power something. 3.4 times 10 raised to power 5. So guys, I'm leaving the first question for you to finish up. So you solve this one, you get your name, then you drop the answer in the comments. Next one, please. Thank you. The gas model which consider the gas molecule to be small particles, gases are small particles which are far apart and move randomly at high speed. Kinetic theory of gas. Now, molecular theory of gas. Now, these are two answers you think about. No, nobody can think about this, and nobody can think about it. Now, molecular theory of gas. Now, talking about molecules. Molecules. Here we are talking about gases are small particles and they move randomly. You know that 3 kT by m. Maxwell equation is available on my channel. So C is correct and not B. Next one. A capacitor store is 0.24 coulombs at 10 volts. Calculate its capacitance. Everybody should be able to do this. Capacitance of the capacitor is Q equals to CV. This one. Q equals to CV. From that, you should be able to do that very well. So if Q is equals to CV, you are looking for, so you just divide the two stuff. 0.24 divided by 10. So I don't think this one should be something that nobody can solve. The next one. The SI unit for magnetic flux is, magnetic flux is measured in now. Magnetic flux is written as this. And it's measured in Weber and meter square, which is equivalent to Tesla. So Tesla, 1 Tesla is same thing as Weber per meter. So you need to be careful. You can see. Now, another thing is, this is very good. I love this. This Gauss of a thing is also very important. So Tesla is correct. This is wrong. It's not plus 1. Now, Gauss, because some of you can actually think it is Gauss. No. Gauss are those 2 units, fine. We use for measuring what magnetic field. So Tesla is correct to this, which is 1 Tesla is equivalent to 1 Weber per meter square. Next one. Please hold on. Please go to the previous one. Magnetic flux. Sorry guys. Magnetic flux, look at me. This is magnetic field. I would have screwed that, and that's unlike me. Now magnetic field, its magnetic force is this one times this. So you can see Weber per meter square times meter square. Weber per meter square is Weber over meter square. Because I know most of you will be like, why did he cancel that? So that's what I did. So answer to this one is what? Weber. Because 1 Tesla step is the same thing as Gauss. So that is what I was looking at, like Gauss is the same thing as Tesla. It's the same thing as Weber per meter square. And this is what we use as an SI unit for magnetic field. So magnetic flux is field times area. The closer the area, the stronger the field. You remember that concept? So answer to this is B. Please, apologies. B is correct. All these are. So next one, guys. The next question says, maybe I'll leave this one for you guys to solve, but let's see it. An RLC circuit is used in the radio to tune into a Radio Lagos FM station. Wow. Broadcasting at 93.5 Hertz. That's the frequency. The resistance is 15 ohms and the inductance is 16 Henry. Wow. Calculate the capacitance used. Inductance, capacitance. XL is equal to 2 pi FC. This is more like jam wire questions, which everybody can do. Inductance is measured in Henry. You can see inductance is 1.6 and frequency is given. Let me see other things. You are looking for C. Okay, you are looking for capacitance. So capacitance C, SL is 2 pi FL. Sorry? 2 pi. Oh, wow. Yeah, you going when I'm rushing. That's when you know you want to go. You're not going anywhere. You won't go anywhere. You're only disciplining yourself. Wow. Wow. So this is L. This is L. So whereby SC equals to 1 over 2 pi FC. So what I just want you guys to see is that you are given, I can just use resonance frequency to get this one directly because I can see it is resonating. So not wasting my time, I have resistance. I have resistance of this one. Okay. I have resistance 15 ohm. Okay. RLC, I have frequency, I have, so it is resonating because if I want to be doing long, I want to go for a short way. If I'm doing long things, it will waste my time. So let me just use this one. So if I use that one, I think that one will satisfy what I need. That is the question giving me pi. But I know the value of pi. No question has been giving me pi since morning. So now let's see if the parameters are completed. What am I looking for, guys? I'm looking for this guy, C. So I'm looking for C. I think it's simple to do now. So basically I can just make this equation, two of them equal, and cut out what I want to cut out and so. So guys, you are looking for C. You know L. Let me help you out. What is L? Inductance. So L is inductance. So you are looking for the capacitance. So please, the capacitance is C. You are looking for C. You know F. What is F? 93.5 FM. So that is just what you are going to do. Or you do it together if you think you don't know how to solve this type of question. Or you do it one by one. Look at one by one. I want to do before. I will first of all, from this equation here, now I was given SL. What I will do here is I will get, I know the frequency. I will try as much as possible from here to set these two equations equal. If I set them equal, I can say 2 pi, I'm wasting too much of time. FL minus B is giving me and now 1 over 2 pi FC. I can do it directly like this. So if you cross multiply like his own formula you love using, you are going to have 2 pi times 2 pi is 4 pi squared. For some of you can't formula a lot, is good. Then you have this is F squared, F times Fs squared, then LC equals to 1. I'm getting C. So C equals to 1 over, I hope I am not cutting at me, 4 pi squared. Now if you remember this, we have 1 over 4 pi squared. So I have to come up, back, because I'm cutting. What about this? It's showing. Thank you. So now you have it's because I'm rushing now. And it's better for me not to even rush. Whenever I'm rushing like that, it's when I spend most of the time. So from here, if I cross multiply these two formulas, which is the same thing as this, I'm just looking for easier way. It will be C equals to another formula you can use. C equals to 1 over, directly just point calculator, 4 pi squared. 4 pi squared, F squared, F. My admin has used this formula before on our section on Telegram. I remember very well. So this is our C equals to 1 over 4 pi squared, F squared, F. So this one will be kind of very direct, because this one, you still have to square both sides and do stuff like that. But this one will give you the right answer. So 1 divided by, just say 4 times 3.142 square times frequency 93.5 FM square. Remember to square it, then multiply by 1.6 square. So any answer you have for C will be here. Then you have to convert because it's in microfarad. So that means your answer can be can be 0.00. So you know micro is times 10 to the power minus 6. So convert the answer. Drop the answer in comment section. This is the formula you're going to use. 100% certain you're going to get the answer. Next one, please. Next question. These are simple questions. That's why I don't want to waste time. Which of the following is true of electrical conductor? They are materials in which some of the electrons are free to move. They are material in which none of the electrons are free to move. They are material in which all of the electrons are free to move. They are material in which some of the electrons are free. So it should be all, because if you talk about some of the electrons, you talk about semiconductor. So they are material in which some of the neutrons, that is electron that is moving, in which some, not some, all of the electrons are free to move. Next one. I hope you are now at 37. I need to be fast. Now, the next question says, a battery of EMF with an internal resistance is connected in series to a resistor. Calculate the current flowing. Current flows in an internal resistance. This is popular, R plus R. I think this is popular in elementary class. This is a 2.50. You are dividing by small r plus b. There is 10 plus 0.5. That's 10.5. So let's just divide 2.50. Let's do that together. 2.50 divided by 10.5. Having something like 0.23 something. 238. Next question, please. Next one. Now, I do have to be fast, please. The carrier of charges in gases is that. Now, gases is ions and electron. This is a little bit of your chemistry. I hope I'm not cutting. Now, solids are electrons. For the sake of other questions, conduction of substances are available on my channel on Physics 2. Liquids are ions. Gases are ions and electrons. Semiconductors are electrons and holes. Electrons and holes. Yes, I mean. So the answer to this is what? Ions and electron, and that's crazy. Next one, please. Now the force between two charges is 120. If the distance between the charges are double, the magnitude of the force is that. Force is proportional from obeys the inverse square law. Either use electrostatic force or any type of force, or gravitational force. Force is also proportional to inverse proportional to square of distance. So if the force is 120, you can just do relationship. If you want to do F1 R1 squared equals to F2 R2 squared. But this is a waste of time. Directly you can solve this question with F1 is 120. The distance, let's say the distance is 1. So what will now be the force? When the distance is double. When the distance double, 1 is 2. 2 squared is 4. So here you can say F2 will now be equals to, I hope I'm not cutting. So this is 120 divided by 120 divided by 4 is nothing but 30. So that's that. The next one. Thank you. Now, the next one says a 200-ton coil is having an axial length of 30 millimeter, which I'll convert to meter. That is divided by 1,000. That is saying 3 over 100, 0.03 meter. convert it directly. As the radius of 10 millimeter divided by 1000, that's 1/100, 0.01 meter. It's pivoted that in the magnetic field having a flux density of 0.8 Tesla. If the current carrying the coils of, this will be amps, calculates the torque acting on that. Torque on what? On field is given as Barney, or you say Neighbor, or anyhow, but I think Barney is very popular in junior classes. So Barney should be the right stuff to solve this one. So substituting Barney, magnetic flux density 0.8 Tesla. Area of the field, that is where you have to calculate. Number of turns is how many? 200. Current is 0.5. Now let's calculate the area of this field. The radial field, so area of the field should be pi r squared. So that is 3.142 times the radius. Okay. Radius is what? I'm looking for the radius. Oh, 0.01 times okay, radius square. Radius square. So this is what we want. I can say 0.0, this one will be 0.01 times 0.01 times 3.142. We're having 0.034 for this one now. So I want to multiply with that. So let me just do it direct. Times, this answer is for area, times 0.8. I hope students can get one and me. Multiply again by, I've done A now. N is number of, how many on 200. Multiply by 200, then multiply by current times 0.5. I just hope the answer is 0.025, something like that. So that means there is an error somewhere. There's an error somewhere, so which I think we can adjust. So that should be the correct answer to that. So this is the formula we are going to use. And I don't know why we magnetic field having flux density. It didn't give me magnetic field. It gave me flux density. Sorry. Flux density, I hope I'm not cutting here, is equals to this times this. Wow. It just giving me issue. B will now be equals to the flux divided by the area. The flux divided by the area. So it should be, so from my formula now, you can see this thing is now turning to, this B now is now changing to flux over area times A N I. If you can see well, this is nothing but A gets cancelled out. So the tension I'm having here, I said tension or the torque, is now equals to the flux multiplied by N multiplied by I. So sometimes you just have to do things 2 times. So what is the torque? Is 0.8. Numbers of turns is what? 200. The current is 0.5. So 200 times half is 100. 100 times 0.8 is 80. That's what I'm having now. So I don't think there's a correct answer because this should be the right answer. I've done it the usual way. Is 0.8, right? Times 200. Number of turns is 200 times 0.5. So if I am not mistaken, I think that is correct. That should be the correct answer. 2 pi, yeah. Barney, that's Barney, current is 0. Why I'm actually having issue is this, that maybe this is not 0, maybe it's 0.55, I don't know. So if it is 0.55 answer, which means, because what we are having is 0.8. So because current is not measured in X, current should be in what? Ampere. So I think the only problem here should be, because this is 100 times 4.8, that is 80. Torque is 80. I hope I'm not cutting. 80. So the torque is 80 Newton meter. So 80 Newton meter. Torque per unit length is having an ACR length. Sorry guys, and the one. So should be that guy 80 multiplied by the length. What's the ACR length? Sorry. 0.03. 0.03. Sometimes questions are like this. Per unit length, per length. Torque CE 80 divided by the length is 0.03. Okay, this calculator now out. 80. I'm the one, I'm taking this normal calculator and pressing point. It should be, somebody start again. 80. You press everything, is 0 point. That's the problem. I hope this thing is showing. Is 0.030. Everything should be pressed. What kind of calculator is this one? It's very, very long. So I don't think the answer is correct because, and I think the reason is because of this one. So I'll leave it. So I'll leave it as because I was thinking we are looking for the torque per unit length. So if it is torque per unit length, even if you divide 80 by 3, it's not going to give you 4.8 because 80 times 3 times 3 is not 80. And this is 80. I mean, is this not 80? 200 times half is 100. 100 times 0.8 should be 80. So 80 should be the right answer to this question, provided this is 4.5. Now, if this is not 2.5, I think this is not 4.5. Next question, don't worry, please. I don't want to waste my time on irrelevant things. I believe there's an error there. The next one is the electrical potential along an x-axis is given by the expression V is equals to AX minus BX squared, where A and B are constant. At what point on the axis is electric field is 0? Now, we know that electric field will be 0 when du by dx is equals to 0. Because potential energy is written as U, and you know it's proportional to what? X. So you should have done this one before by saying F force equals to the U by dx. So if the force acting on the body is equals to 0, there's no electric field. Electric field is also equals to 0. Remember, electric field itself is given as electric field equals to F equals to, E equals to F over Q. E is F over Q. I'm just doing QE, where E is the electric field. So what I'm saying is that force is proportional to electric field. So when force is 0, electric field is also 0. So directly here, what I'm saying is that to get what electric field to be 0, I have to what? The U by ds should be equals to 0. So if this, the V by ds, now they use V as U, and I think that's the V by ds, is equals to 0. So if this is equals to 0, you have AX minus BX squared is equals to 0. What do? Differentiate, then differentiate this should be A minus 2 times B is 2BX is equals to 0. Then you can say, finishing that guy, you have A is equals to 2BX. So I move this one to that side. This is what I do. 0 plus anything is that. Then here you can make S from now X is equals to A by 2B or A over 2B. So answer should be there. There is no error in this one. Option B is correct. That question has an error. It should not be X. So next one, please. Are we almost there, please? The essential part of an AC generator is this, except now. Everything here for generator, or split ring are for DC generator, direct current, dynamic. Next one. So, next one. Commutator sometimes is also called split ring. Extrinsic semiconductor. Electricity is conductor like electricity in conductor, either extrinsic or intrinsic. In semiconductor is electrons and hole. I talked about that the other time. Next question, please. I'm trying to save the time. A substance has an half-life of 5 minutes. After 10 minutes, the count rate was observed to be 500. The count rate at 0 time is what? So I'm solving this one also directly. The concept of half-life available on my channel is Nn is equals to N naught over 2 is per N. I don't want to use the K equation because this is a simple question on count rate. So capital T equals to small t divided by N. This is very popular. Capital T is half-life. Half-life is 5. Small t is 10. N is what you are looking for. 5n equals to 10. N answer will be equals to 2. I hope you get that. So now I need to get the count rate. So if I need the count rate, what I do here is initial N naught is what I'm looking for. It is now 500 at a particular time. Nn is 500 is equals to, is it 5 EAM, you have 500 is equals to N naught over 2 raised to power. What is N now? 2 raised to power 2. So N naught answer here is 500 times 2 raised to power 2 is 4. 500 times 4 should be 2000. I think this is better than using the K equation to solve anything. So next question, please. Sorry guys, I just have to increase the pace. One of the feature of nuclear fission is that they lead to what? Chain reaction. That's a simple question. It's common in WAEC as well. Next one, please. Calculate the maximum kinetic energy liberated energy of light. Calculate the maximum kinetic energy of liberated electron when cesium with a work function of 2.5 or 25 times 10 to the power. How can you write 25 instead of 2.5? Well, anyway, and if answer is left like this in theory, it should be said it is wrong. Because this standard form is funny. I expect the standard form to be in another form. So it's having now with a work function of 25 times 10 to the power minus 18 joules. It's illuminated by light of this frequency. We are looking for kinetic energy. We know that the total energy is always addition. Whereby kinetic energy will be energy of photon minus the work function. Work function is written as HF naught. You study this under your 004. I believe you have studied that. I believe. So this guy is HF minus HF naught. HF naught is already given. Work function is 25 times 10 raised to the power negative 18. So just direct something. This guy will be given in the slide in the beginning. This age, I think I still remember. I just want to use the value they gave. Times 10 raised to the power minus 34 times the frequency. Please give me the book. Frequency is 8.6 times 10 raised to the power. I want to use the value given according to the examiner. 86.63 times 10 raised to the power minus 34. So they want 6.63. Thank you. Now times F frequency is 8.6 times 10 raised to the power 15. Any answer you get, you are subtracting from this value. So do that. Doing that, we can say 15, 34, 34, 15. 15 plus 15 is 30, 17 minus 17. 6.6 times 8.6. 6.6 times 8.6. 0.6 times, I'm doing calculation now. 8.6. 56.76 times 10 raised to power, what do I have here? Minus, is it minus 18 or minus 17? I have 15 minus 34 is minus 8 plus 5. That is 19. 19 minus 19 please. Then minus 25. I will shift this one. I shift this one should be, because I want to work with respect to what I have, minus 25 times 10 and minus 18. You already know what is doing this stuff. So now I have to shift one. So if I shift one, this will be 5.6 and that is 25. Wow. So this will be 5.6. 56 times 10 raised to the power minus 8. What happened? I'm cutting. Just tell me I'm cutting. So now, I believe this should show. Is this thing showing? Yes. So this should be a direct solution that should be simple to solve for me. I'm still wondering something. 8.6 times 5.5, 15. This one is 15. Then I'm subtracting from 25. This 25 is what I'm on. But if I shift this one, this should be lower. Times 10. So 5.676 times 10 is minus 18 minus 25 times 10 is minus 18. So that's what I'm having, which you guys cannot see. So I want you to see what I have here. I'm shifting this one as 5.6. I'm shifting this one as or I'm shifting this one, I can shift this one back a little bit as 0.25. So it's just like 56 minus 0.25. And I'm looking at all what is here. 56 minus 0.25 is, this is the closest answer. I don't have calculator, and that is why I'm working directly. You can see 56 minus, this is minus 19. I shift this 110 to the back, 0.25. 56 minus 0.25 will give me 5.4. Like that should be like 5.4. So this is the closest answer to what I have. But you can punch calculator to this. Just subtract this value, HF, which is the answer of this one, minus this guy. Another way of doing it is shifting this one also to the front and get the answer. Well, this is correct 100%. So no doubt about that. It's a simple question of formula. Next one, please. Next question. Thank you, admin. Now, the characteristics of X-ray depends on the dash. X-ray depends on what we call Coolidge. We use a Coolidge tree. Electron that is incident on target material. The target material is Coolidge 2. That's what we use for X-ray to produce X-ray. So the answer to this is target. Next one. Now, this one says an hydrogen atom. That is why I don't want to rush, because I know towards the end you are going to be having some questions you may not be able to do. An hydrogen atom is in its fourth excited state. And the question is asking me here, and I should calculate the radius of the electron of the Bohr orbit. You guys should know the three laws of Bohr with respect to hydrogenic atom. So if you have studied that, I don't think you should have any issue with this one. You should know that the radius of Bohr from linear momentum, talking about revolution of electron along its circular orbit, you are told that what mvr is equals to nuh by 2 pi. Because as it's revolving any set of integer angular momentum mvr, the stuff like that. You study this one, and if you not, there's always a first time to everything. So that's the second law of that. The first law is very simple. That is the one in which we talk about the revolution with respect to centripetal force and the electrostatic force, the force that acts inside within the nucleus. So this is just a simple thing. We can say the direct formula we use is radius is 1 point. How did I pick eraser? I don't even know I am eraser. I never pick eraser. 1.529 n squared over z squared. Please note that this unit is in Armstrong and not in meter. If you are new to this, and that is why I said I need to help with some of this. So now Z is atomic number, N is what? The energy levels. That is what we call that. Now substituting that, since it is hydrogen. Hydrogen Z is equals to 1 for hydrogen. I hope you all know that. Atomic number of hydrogen is 1, so 1 squared is 1. And just write R equals to 1.529 n squared. So we just do this 1.529 times n is it's n equals to 4 squares are 16. So answer is in Armstrong, which I will convert to meter because answer is in meter. But we know how to convert to meter. And also sometimes you can be tested in terms of picometer, nanometer, and so on and so forth. So 1.529 times 16, 1.529 multiplied by 16. So doing this, we have 24.464 Armstrong. 24.464 Armstrong. So I convert Armstrong to what? Meter. So if I convert Armstrong to meter, it will be 2.64. That is a 2. This is 24.464. That's 25 approximately. That is 2.4. But we have 2.46 times 10 to power minus 10. So meter. So that is it. Converting this to meter. So now if I do that,
so you need to check this one. So I'm using a voiceover. The answer should be 0.529 multiplied by 16. The formula is 0.529 and not 5.529.
Now, the next one says, find the charge on a stationary oil drop of mass 0.5 kg located at a distance of 5 mm within two plates of potential difference of 1000 volts in an electric field. Charge. Electric field. Potential difference. V equals to KQ by R. I hope you will know this. This is a popular stuff. So we are giving a lot of things. You are looking for Q. I hope you can do that. K will be given also in the stuff. Then 1/4. I want to use the exact value according to the question. So permittivity. KQ naught. Permittivity is given as 8.85 times 10 to the power minus 12. So VA is 1000 is equals to K is 8.85 times 10 to the power negative 12 times Q. What's the distance? 5 millimeter. So I'll convert that one, that's 5 divided by 1000. That's 0.005. So the rest is story, which you guys can finish up. So finishing this one, guys, you can just do 1000 times that. Or you can say 5 times, anyhow you want to, 5 times 10 to the power. This is 5 times 10 to the power minus 3, this is 10 to the power minus 3. 3 minus 3 will be 5. So it's just in 8 points. So what I have is this times this will give me 5. I hope I'm not cutting. Is equals to 8.85 times 10 to the power minus 12. So Q will now be 5 divided by 8.85. So let's just do that and move on. 5 we can finish divided by 8.85. So I'm having that, whatever, something 0.56 or whatever. Is it 56 there? You can see better at me. Yeah, 56, 0.56. I can't have any 0.56 here. 2 plates, potential difference between this and the okay, electric field goes to KQ. I'm looking for the charge, right? I'm very correct. I don't need to be wasting my time. KQ by R, I have Q. Then this is according to what I was asked to use there. Or let me use calculator to see if I'm the one that fucked up in the calculator. 1000 times 0.005 should be 5. Yeah? So 5 equals to 8. That's what they gave me as my. So V is this one. E is V over D. So it's correct. It's not having R squared. So that is our 5. I have 8.85 divided by 5. I know everything will become 8.85 divided by 5. Oh, what happened? 8.85 divided by 5. 5 divided by 8.85. Because I'm making this subject 5 divided by 8.85. So, and that's what I did. Divided by 8. An element and its isotopes only differs in, I think this one is very simple. Isotopes have the same atomic number, same number of protons, but different mass number. So mass number. So same atomic number, different mass number. So they have different neutron, because neutron is mass number minus atomic number. So they have different, they differ in their numbers of neutrons. Next question. Now this one says, what is the Broglie wavelength for an electron moving with a speed of 3 times 10 to the power 6? So now electron moving like that, we can say the Broglie's formula is from early classes. Lambda is equals to h by momentum. Momentum is mv. The Broglie's wavelength is what I need. Planck constant according to they gave me 6.63 times 10 to the power minus 34. Calculator is even what is costing you. Please, guys, you can attempt all those ones with those formulas. I'm very sure you're going to get the answer. Momentum is mv. So I need mass of electron. It will be given in front of, and the speed was given. I need a mass of electron, 9.1. I know that, but I just want to use what is given. Mass of electron is not even stated here. That's the funniest thing. Mass of electron should be, okay, stated. 9.11 times 10 to the power minus 31 multiplied by, I don't want to have issues with calculator again. Calculator here is not helping. I should have used the better one. The speed is 3 times 10 to the power 6. This one will also give me issue now. 3 times 10 to the power 6. Let me even use standard form and forget about calculator. So I have 31, 6. I'm doing the 10 first, guys. 31 minus 6 is 6 minus 31 is 25. 25 minus 25. That's 34 minus 25. 7, 8, 9. Minus 9. 7, 8, 9. 25, 34 is 9. So what I have now is just to multiply these two guys. Then answer divided by this. So we have 6.63 over 9. Hope I'm not cutting, times 3. All this is because I don't have calculator, to be honest. All those ones we are doing. Now we have 2 questions that we don't get the answer. That's a shame. 10 raised to power minus 9. That's what I am. So that means I can now say 9.11 times 3. And those are very simple questions that you guys are not getting, not me. 6.63 over 27.33. 6.63 divided by 27.33. Time as is fast. 0.2425. That one has an answer. So with the standard form times 10 raised to power minus 9 is 0.242425. That's 240 times 10 raised to power minus 9. Hope I'm not cutting. So now I can now convert. So you can see if I convert this minus 1, so that's 2.43. This way should show now.
Yes, it's true.
2.43. Then if I move this one by 1, no time to waste time. So you move that is minus 1. Minus 1 minus 9 is minus 10. So this is the answer to that. That one is right. Next one, please. No time to be dressed in anything. Next one. The last question for you now is the electromagnetic radiation used in medicine is gamma ray, treatment of cancer. But let's take it very well. Used in medicine. This is very simple question, but can also be funny. X-ray can be used in treatment, in tracing of bone and broken bones and looking for, but it's not used in treatment. So be careful about that. Some of you might be thinking that. So gamma ray is generally used as what? Traces of gamma ray are used for treatment of cancer. So please go to the other question before I call it today. Let me just see the one we did not get the answer. So just for the sake of understanding, previous. Yes. Yeah. So now, guys, what you are going to do for me here, you drop the answer in the comment. This is the only question we have issues with, and I believe it is not the issue. It is just because of the what? The organization of the question. The question is correct. Answer is there. I'm very sure. So just try as much as possible. Use your formula of F equals to KQ squared over R squared for me. If you use this one, you are looking for Q. K is constant. This is the value of K. I don't have time. You can get your force. How can you get your force? It's simple to get force. How can you get that? You can get the value of the force by using the direct formula of E equals to F over Q. Or basically, I've gotten E for you. You are now looking for what? You can say E is F over Q. So if E is F over Q, that is how they come about the question. So this one Q, we cancel Q here. And that was why I was using, that's what that formula is. E equals to KQ squared by R. So use this one directly and tell me the answer in the comment section, because that's the only one that I believe answer should be there. We are the one that is not getting it because we are actually rushing and the nature of calculator that we are having. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this section. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you soon in chemistry and math as well. Prepare well, and if you have any questions, you can drop them in the comment section. See you guys soon. You have a wonderful time. Bye.